Oh, what's that?
A big old heavy Pioneer amplifier. And I trust my customer. I think he's honest, but some people aren't. I've been in this business a long time. And when you find a piece of equipment like this, and the power cord has been whacked off, frequently that means it was stolen. Because burglars will run into your house with wire cutters and whack the cords off of stuff so they can grab it and run. I don't ask questions. He's a good customer. Don't know where he got this.
Don't you think that would spark if they did that?
Do you think burglars care? It only sparks once and it blows the breaker. I've been burgled a time or two, so I know what they do. So there's one with no power cord, so he has no idea whether it works or not. Case is pretty nice. An SA9100, that's a pretty good sized amplifier. We'll get the cover off of it and look inside. And
well, sometimes institutional places will cut the cord to...
Well, pawn shops will too sometimes when they discard stuff. And the nonprofits, we won't name any names, but I got really pissed at them. They would not sell me their discards, but they would pay somebody to cut the cords off, hit them with a hammer, pour bleach on them, anything to keep from giving it away or selling it at a price less than what they thought it was worth. They'd rather destroy it. This may have been in a nonprofit, donated in good faith, and because they couldn't get the price they thought it was worth, they decided to discard it, and they whacked the cord off of it just out of spite. Now some people, when they put their TV sets out on the curb to be, just be discarded, they cut the cord off and keep it because the cord's worth about 2 cents in copper. That's kind of petty. So this may just be an innocent case of, I think it's junk, so let me keep the 2 cents off the cord.
That certainly doesn't look like junk on the inside.
No, it certainly doesn't.
It looks amazingly clean.
The last one I did was dirty. This one
is like brand new.
Is immaculate.
I don't see any signs of anything wrong.
Big power transformer, big filter caps.
What kind of environment would that have to be in to be so clean?
Highland Park.
Yeah.
Big metal output transistors on big heavy heat sinks. This isn't done anymore.
It looks flawless.
Of course, this thing's also all steel and aluminum. Let's get in here to the bottom. I wonder if I've got a suicide cord here. I bet I don't. I'll find one.
Well, you're going to go in and resolder that in, but it's a little challenge.
Well, I used to have a cord here. Either alligator clip it, or I can just solder this onto.
Well, the thing is like about 20 years old, and it looks brand new.
This is the 70s. These were made from about 72 to about 1980. This is the golden age of Japanese.
I mean, these used to be in the magazines. They'd have.
Yes, they did.
There's a little dust on the bottom.
A little.
But usually you see so much dust you can't even read things.
I've seen worse. Let me look over here for a cord. Let me clean this place up.
There's a suicide cord if it's got something on the other side.
That's got a light bulb on the end of it. And that doesn't. There's usually one laying here. Where does that go? It goes to a head demagnetizer.
You don't want to cut that one.
Well, not necessarily.
This is probably the only dangerous voltage in that thing, really.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, they run about 80 volts on the output. Surprised I don't have a cord setting here. Let's look over here on the rack. Got changer power cords and that. Let's see.
What's that thing with the two nuts on the wire nuts?
That's an audio cord. I don't see one over here. I thought I had one.
Of course, they're easy enough to make.
Yeah, I just need to find something to steal the cord off of right quick. Let me see what's down here.
That one looks really
that
old.
one's really, really, really bad.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have to do some editing on this job.
I can do that.
Yeah, I figured you could. Here's a. That's not a
The
good
reverse of what you need.
That's just the opposite. Got to be something here. I can steal a cord off of right quick. I have so much junk in this place, and yet I don't have what I need when I need it. Let's see. I think we will just go right here, because I think that's a dead VCR anyway. There's lots of dead VCRs in the world. All right. Power cord comes into the back of a convenience outlet on the back. And let's see, my soldering gun's not plugged in as usual.
And it's not really that hard to get that grommet out if you want to do that.
Well, I'm going to eventually.
But right now you're just going to solder.
I just want to know, is this worth messing with?
Well,
That's
it certainly
question
looks
number
like
one.
it.
I think so. I think so. But let's just get a quick assessment. Okay, guys.
Being mindful of the polarity.
Well, yes, we have to obey UL. Where's my roll of solder at? There it is. I'm still using lead solder. Shoot
Well, you
me.
know it goes a lot faster.
Yeah, I don't like lead-free solder.
Well, that's almost all silver, isn't it? Or
Yep.
doesn't want to solder.
Higher temperature doesn't want to flow. It's a real pain to work with. I hate desoldering stuff that was built with lead-free solder. Come on.
Well, how are you going to? You're not going to ingest it. You may breathe a little bit of it.
I've been breathing it for 40 years. What do you think? I'm crazy. Boy, me and Robin Williams.
That's just so sad.
It is so sad.
You think he had everything going for him, and
He did and he didn't. If you know anything about depression, it's not funny. And there had to be a price to pay for that manic genius, and obviously it was some demons. And it is so sad. He gave so much to the world and suffered so much in silence. But now they're saying they think he had onset of Parkinson's, so I don't know. He had a lot on his plate. All right, there's the power cord, and the wires are not touching there.
yeah, you got to make sure they don't touch it. It goes pop.
I have touched those and go, whoa!
You'll get you.
It's like, what the? Oh, never mind.
We'll put some tape over them.
Nah. All right, we have our little amp meter there, which if you're setting up an amplifier.
Now, some people would actually put the adjustable power supply.
I got a Variac down here. Solid state amps with a protection circuit and big capacitors don't do well when you bring them up on a Variac, because you have to reach a certain point for the amp to balance itself. And if you come up slowly, the balancing circuit may not work, and it may swing one way or the other, and the protection relay won't close till about 90 volts. This is an amp meter with a ×10 multiplier. So this is actually reading a tenth of what's shown on the scale. So that's good low idle current. Of course, there was a big inrush when you powered it up. It pins the needle as the capacitors fill up, and then it falls back. So the idle current's good. And
So that tells you that you're not pulling more amperage than you need to.
we're not pulling excessive amperage. I don't smell anything. I need to hook up speakers and a signal source and see if it plays, and it probably will. Let me see, there's a power switch right there. Let's turn it right side up and plug a speaker into it. Yeah, this is definitely a find.
Well, it's just so clean.
Well, clean is good, and the fact that it's got the big transformer, the big heat sinks, metal transistors.
Now, be careful not to rub your arm against that.
I'm watching. It's over there.
Yeah. That's just two 110 volts just sticking out, ready to get somebody.
It only hurts once. Let me see. We'll go into aux with a tone generator, and there is the cable to one of my speakers. And there's the right channel out. Come on, find the hole. There we go. Yeah, one channel will tell us whether it's going to play or not.
And we're going to hear a tone if it works.
Yeah, okay, volume down, aux 1. We've got a monitor switch. Should. We don't have a pilot light there for some reason.
You got the power switch on?
Yeah, I just flipped it up. Function.
It's awfully low frequency for what we were expecting.
Well, that's...
Sounds almost 60 cycle.
Well, we've got something going on here. Oh, never mind. This has an input select switch, tuner, phono, or this rotary switch. There we go.
Working perfectly.
Yeah. And chances are the other channel's good too. Yep. Okay.
So it's a good amp with a cut cord.
Apparently.
Uh-huh.
Let's do something quick right here. Just cause we're here.
See if it's a nice clean sine wave.
Yep. Well,
Goes out.
Nice clean square waves, what
All
we
right.
want. Okay, ground the scope. Should have dummy load resistors on for this, but I'm going to cheat a little bit right now. Speed things up.
Feels like a sine wave to me.
Ah, picks up a lot of, well, that is a sine, but here's the acid test.
That's not a bad square
It is a
wave.
square wave. And this tells you whether the tone circuits are working. Let me see, we have a,
So you're looking at the roll off on the square wave.
yeah, there's loudness off, bass, treble, that should be flat theoretically. And this one has a double tone circuit with 2 different ranges,
Uh-huh.
which is really neat.
And you can make a perfect square wave if you want to.
Perfect square wave is flat.
Uh-huh.
That would be flat.
Look how flat, look perfect, that's perfect.
Yeah, and that's actually 1 notch off of the knobs, but that's not unusual. And you can spike it up or pull it down to change the treble. And if we go to a lower frequency, you can see the bass better.
And there you are adjusting that.
Yeah.
Bass enhance.
So now you know the tone circuits are working and that it's actually flat. And you go to your loudness control and you see what it does. Boost the bass. And it usually also boosts treble.
There you go.
So, this has some dirty switches, which
Can be cleaned.
can be cleaned.
It's got metal knobs, so you're not going to have
Got
trouble with the knobs.
metal knobs, yeah. There's nothing like the feel of metal knobs. It's push button stuff and that touch screen stuff. Give me knobs I can twist.
And I like a tuner that actually is linear with the little
Yeah,
line moving through.
that's nice too. I need better lighting out here, but one of these days I'll make some money and build a
So-
bigger shop.
It's a perfect amp that had a cut cord.
Somebody cut the cord. We don't know why. We're not going to ask. We're going to put a new cord on it, clean the switches, test it, and send it back to its current owner.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a find. Hopefully it was just discarded by a nonprofit or a thrift or some stupid person that just wanted to be rid of it and cut the cord off of it to make sure it didn't come back. Yeah. Yeah. That would have been a lot of money in the 70s,
It's
probably.
still a good amount of money now.
Well, back then, this would have sold probably for about $3.99, which in today's money is like $3,000. Money was a lot more valuable in the 70s. So this would have been a major investment by somebody, and you had to buy a tuner and a turntable and an open reel and some fine speakers. This would have been a serious stereo person's amplifier. some people didn't like their tuners and their amps in the same box.
Mm-hmm.
So this would have had a fine tuner to go with it, possibly a Pioneer. That's a nice amp.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of nice features on it.
Well, there you are.
Yeah.
What you can find.
The only thing it's really missing is a second phono preamp. That's really nice to have two phono preamps, but if you had two different turntables. But that was not common. So there we go. There's another one that will live another day.
Okay.